Sorry this video is filmed a little differently to how I usually do things. Currently in LA. I did not bring my camera because it's very heavy, but hopefully this will suffice. There's definitely going to be a lot I'm missing here, but I wanted to make a video on music for me for 2018 because I felt like I really fine-tuned my taste and found a lot of music that I love. So if you're wondering what my taste in music is, this video is it. First we have Emily King.
Oh, I feel my body move without me again. Oh, like a sleepwalker, getting closer to him, getting closer to him.
I first heard Believer actually a whole year ago because I was in LA this time last year on my Discover Weekly. I was walking like this, like to the beat and making my ponytails swing. It was just a song that I found and I loved every single note, every single decision, choice of instrument, every section. You're like, I wonder what the bridge will sound like. You're like, oh, I just loved it unconditionally. So then I listened to her newest album a lot. Then a friend was like, how have you not heard Georgia? So I listened to Georgia and then that became my new favorite. There's a key change in it that gives me the biggest wave of goosebumps. It's honestly like breathing in after having a cold and like being like, makes me feel like a new woman every single time. I played Dan her new song Remind Me, and I don't know if you've ever watched someone fall in love with a piece of art, because it's happened to me so many times, but I got to bring someone that. I just watched him close his eyes and then when it was over he was like, I loved that. I love her voice, it's so full of feeling, and I love her melodies and how they're surrounded by harmonies and how soft her harmonies are. I'm just so happy to have found her. She's awesome. Moving on to Ethan Gruska.
Do something for someone else. Do something for someone else. Do something not for yourself. Do something not for yourself.
Slow Motionary, his album, is just perfect. It is perfect. I keep doing this. I first heard The Valley on recommendation of a friend and immediately sent him back a picture of me crying with like tears rolling down my face. I actually met up with him yesterday, which is wild. Anyway, his piano sound is so soft and dusty and close and muted. It's like the perfect piano sound that I crave. He plays his songs like they're instruments in themselves, like the way they breathe with the song and the narrative beats of it. He tends to write with, I'm finding a hard time describing this, but he tends to write with like a lot of words and like his melody moves with his words, so it's like da 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 da, and then the chords kind of surround that. It's so interesting. It's like a stream of thought, but a poetic stream of thought. Anyway, it's just beautiful. I wrote down a few of my favorites, but I realized that it's most of the album. I'll name them anyway, but The Valley, obviously, Rather Be, Short Film, Grand Lies, and The Egotist, and obviously all of the rest, because it is a perfect album. It is definitely my favorite thing I have found this year. I'm so grateful. Okay, next up we have Laura Marling.
It's so hard to say. Is it always this way?
I've obviously been a fan of Laura Marling for a while. She inspires me heavily. And Semper Femina actually came out in 2017, but I found it last year. I haven't actually listened through that many times, but I remember when I did for the first time, I've loved every song and every sound. Anyway, I would love to make an album that sounds like that. My favorite is definitely Always This Way. The strings are so beautiful in it. I also really like, there's a song called Wild Once where she speaks in it and she's so British. She goes, "You were wild once, I won't forget it," or something like that. It's so weird, but it's so cool. Next we have Tom Misch, or Misch. I thought it was Misch, but it's
Bum, bum, da, 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 bum, ba, dum.
Spotify said that it was my top most listened to artist. To be honest, that made sense because he was definitely my summer album. Every song on Geography is perfect. I keep saying some that. Are like really jamming and so funky and like you'll move no matter what you're doing, and then it also has some like chill kind of crackly songs, if you know what I mean, like Movie and Man Like You, which is definitely I think my favorite on it. I think, which is actually a cover. I didn't know that. I haven't actually listened to the original. I should. I'd say my favorites are Man Like You, TikTok, Disco Yes, and Movie. Yeah. Next, Everything Everything.
And you wake up just head and shoulders in a glass jar. Oh, you clear you thought you raised your eyebrow, but you don't say. Oh, there's something wrong, but it's okay if we're still getting paid.
I don't know if I have a favourite album of theirs yet. I haven't solidified my love for them yet, but I have a number of songs that are just so good. My favourite thing about them is how the lyrics fit so phonetically into the rhythm. You just want to learn them. You want to learn all of them, and they can fit in your mouth like they do in his, you know? You just want to be like... That's all I've been doing instead. I haven't learned them yet. Listen to Distant Past, which you might know them from already. Cough Cough, Regret, Cough Cough, so good. And my favourite at the moment, which is Night of the Long Knives. It's every single section is just so good. Next up, Billie Eilish.
Don't you know I'm no good for you? I've learned to lose, you can't afford to.
I tweeted something along these lines already, but I look at the charts and I genuinely feel like despair at what music is popular now. And I know I sound like such an old man, but like when I see Billie's name in there, I have hope. Her harmonies and her voice, just not just her music, but her honesty and her bluntness. She is so objective and awesome, and she's only gonna get better and more wise and more strong. Also, I love her outlook on art. I said this somewhere else online, but I saw that she pretty much demanded like total control on the music video for When the Party's Over. Great song. And that's really hard to do when you're a woman, when you're a young girl in music. And she fucking did it, and it turned out perfect. So that's just proof. Me and my producer love listening to all the little moments. Like there's something to fill every gap, whether it's like a voice pitch shift or a little breath, something subtle to fill out every moment. And then like Come Out and Play, her voice is so dry and so close to your ear. It's like she's whispering in it. I would say listen to everything she's ever made. Yeah. Next up we have Half Alive.
I still feel alive, and it's hopeless. I start to notice, oh, I still feel alive. Falling forward, back into orbit, hey.
They have not released an album yet, but Still Feel is the jam of the century. My favourite moment in this song is, I'm going to be really bad at doing it, but basically after the first chorus, the little sticks on the hi-hat go and then like eventually go back in time. I don't know what it's called, but damn, I will always dance to this song. It's if I'm tired and I'm not feeling right, put on this jam and I will be up. And finally we have Jacob Collier.
Passes us by, feels like our day is gone, but I know in my heart I always care for you, and you'll care for me.
Alright, so Jacob told me a year ago, he was like, oh yeah, I'm writing 4 albums, and I was like, of course you are. So his first project of Jessie has just come out, and it is amazing. It is just everything, and I would say my favourite song of the year is called Once You, and it's on this album. I'm going to tell the story of the first time I heard this. So Jacob invited me to his kind of like album listening party, and we were in this like Shoreditch like cozy venue, and there's one toilet and it is in front of everyone. It's like a little cupboard toilet, and everyone's like circled round, and I drank so much wine, so much water that I need to pee so bad, and we're like halfway through listening to this album, and like everyone is listening with their eyes closed, so in depth, and so have I, but also my bladder is about to burst. And every single song I'm like, just get up and go, but you have to get up and get in front of everyone. And then finished one song and I was like, you know what, if I don't pee now, I'm going to die. Like my body will explode. I'm going to die. So I got ready to go up, and then the strings of this song came in and I sat back down. I was like, fuck, I have to listen to this song, it's so beautiful. And obviously cried so much. And then when it finished, I turned to Hazel because she was with me, and Hazel was crying as well, and she went, I was fucking told jazz. Anyway, I have cried every time I've listened to the song. I haven't been able to listen to it without crying yet. I've brought it to every studio and every car ride, and I always say, right, that's it, everyone shut up, and I want you to listen to the entirety of this song. And because everyone I know is great, they do. And then I take my hands away from my face and I tell them what I've realised about this song. It makes me think of everyone I have ever loved. Susie Collier's tone of her violin is so longing. It's so like desperate. It sounds like someone's heartbroken or heartfelt like cries. I obviously recommend you listen to the whole album as a whole because it has a narrative, but my favourites are probably the cover of the Police song, Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic, and also Ocean Wide, Canyon Deep. Obviously Once You as well, you know, it's the favourite. And With the Love in My Heart because it is jamming and confusing and then real sad. It's like a weird little timpani beat at the end that goes dip dip boom boom. I don't know why, but I think that is the saddest sound I've heard on it, and it's like dotted around the whole album, which is very clever. In the album there's like little motifs and lyric ideas as well that are like hidden in each one, but that little timpani roll, like you hear it, it feels like someone running away for some reason. It feels like you're trying to like reach on. It's like da, 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 da. Ugh. I don't know, I'm probably not making any sense. Anyway, that is a year of me finding my favourite things in music. I've honestly never felt so inspired and so excited by music. It was a good year for that. Right, this sound is getting ridiculous. LA, the sky looks beautiful though, I have to show you. Whoa, look. Right, apologies for my weird setup. I hope the sound was okay. Also, my EP comes out 2 weeks and I'm terrified I haven't hyped it up enough, but I'm very excited for you to listen to it. So hype, pre-order it if you would like. There is a link in the description, but mostly just listen to it when it comes out, please. Okay, bye. This is really hard.
That was really annoying. Always